What's going on, everybody? James here, readoptionagency.com. And I thought I would just jump on, give you a little update as to what's going on since the whole VERO issue. As you can see right here, my numbers took a dip because I had that 7-day suspension. And it turns out it was because of the Lego minifigure, the generic one made by Laser. I can't remember the name of the company now. Laser Point, no, Laser Pot. I don't remember. Anyway, you can see it in the last video, I believe. The minifig that looked like the Lego minifig. The figure looked like the Lego minifig. So they took it down. Now, at first I thought it was on a US site. Turns out it was on an international site. So I've learned that there are different laws in different countries that cover like that. There would be no problem selling that item here in the US on the US side apparently. But being it was on an international site where the laws are different, they were able to VERO it. So what this has led me to do is I'm not going to use Web Interpret anymore. I'm just done. There's too many different issues. I believe the TikTok hat that was taken down was also on an international site. And even though that wasn't a VERO against me, it was just take it down type of issue. Still, there is right now there's not, it's too many issues to deal with. So it's not worth the risk anymore. So I ended Web Interpret, done with that. So I'm going to lose in profit about $2,000 a month. So I'm going to have to make that up in other ways. So I've kind of did a restructure on my business because now I am into pre-retirement mode. I'm just here to move stuff, move it quick, lot stuff up, get it gone, and just be done with it. And then just as I'm doing this, I'm building my store into higher quality items. So it's going to be quality over quantity. So during my suspension, I took down about 2,000 items, just things that I would be paranoid about or stuff that's been sitting in the store for a very long time. And I am just going through a process of taking each tote, bringing it up, going through it, pulling the old stuff out, lotting it up, auctioning it off. Getting back on track. Yesterday, I finally got back over my $1,000 a day mark. Day before that was $987. So the days I was suspended, I still did. I can't complain. 543, 614, 340, 500, 556, 439. And some of you may wonder, well, how can you still do those numbers if you can't find your items on eBay? And technically, you can still find items on eBay from a suspended user. You just have to put in very detailed information. Like if I copy and paste my exact title, it would come up. If somebody got similar to the title, it would be the very, very bottom of everything, but it's still there. Also, your items still show up on Google if you share your links on Pinterest, Facebook, etc., etc. So you can still have traffic that way to item pages. So thankfully, I was still able to get sales that way. Also, another way of getting sales too, which I kind of deleted them all now, but in your unsold folder, your unsold stick around for 90 days. And actually your sold items do too, stick around for 90 days. So if somebody Googles it and finds that old listing, they can still find your store and some items. So that is another way. So what am I doing? Well, what I started to do is, since I'm slowing it down with not messing with, I kind of capped my dollar at about $13.99. Anything lower than that, unless I really like it or I know it moves quick, is just going straight into a lot. So that'll be my wholesale lots, which if you go to my store, readoptionagency.com, wholesale lots. Right now I got 137 in there. I'm going to try to do 25 to 50 auctions a day. Lots of 20, starting at $13.99. If they don't sell, I'm putting them in my store. And what's odd is when I did my test run in June and July, I had $1 per, my average was higher putting them in my store and just selling them at $29.99, which is crazy. So I have no problems if these don't sell and to put them in my store at $29.99 because they still will sell at an average of $25 a lot. So at auction when I did it, my average lot was $15. So I figured maybe if I start at $13.99, I can bump that up to $16 or $17. We'll see. But like I said, I'm doing everything that's $13.99 or lower than $13.99. And I'm also will throw some cherry items into lots just so that if a reseller buys it, they can at least make their money back. Probably make a profit on one item alone. So if you're a reseller, you might just want to keep an eye on my lots. So right now, cassettes, CDs, DVDs, hats. Then when I find other stuff, I'll do random lots. Like I don't know if I put any up yet of the random ones. Like I got a purse lot up. I think it's live. I got about 50 in my store waiting to go up tonight. I'm doing them after 7 p.m. So I wonder if they're not all in here. I need to go back and check my store categories in all my lots because I don't see the purses in here. And I know they're out there, so I'll have to update that. What I have also done is started cross-listing on Poshmark. And Poshmark's a pain in the butt because you got to do all the sharing and stuff like that. But I've been doing it as I sit in the bathtub. So over the last few days, about 3 or 4 days maybe, I got $156 there. But I only got like 300 items up over there right now. So, well, 400. So as I am going through each lot that I'm doing, or each tote that I'm doing here, pulling out the old stuff, but the stuff I'm keeping up, I'm also cross-listing onto Poshmark. If it's media, I'm cross-listing it onto Discogs. And I use List Perfectly for my crossover application program thing. Very easy to use. Highly recommend it. Makes it simple. You can literally cross-list in like one item in 30 seconds. So it's not a pain in the booty hole or anything. So yesterday, a little over $1,000. Let's get into what I actually sold yesterday. I also opened up a second eBay ID. I'm going to start building that. I'm just going to do some auctions off of high dollar hats on there just to build that up and get a second ID started. So what did we sell yesterday? This will be a little bit of today's here on top. Today's kind of been kind of sluggish. We're at 10 a.m. Central Time. Only got about $200 in sales thus far. But I expect it to be less, being I'm not doing the international sites, because I would do some of my international sales overnight. So, and then I also ended 2,000 items. Plus, I got a little bit less traffic into my store right now because of those situations. So, I have to build that all up again in other ways. So this is today's. We'll get to August 6th. Will be yesterday's stuff starting here. A couple of CDs, Nintendo gun, CD, Home Depot hat, Caterpillar hat. I put up a rare Caterpillar denim patch vintage hat yesterday for auction, and I made the mistake of leaving best offer on it. And I got like 6 offers in like 10 minutes that I put it up. Highest one, it was $70. I declined them all. I think it'll go for a couple hundred. So we'll see how that ends out. So yeah, Weird Al cassettes always do pretty good. Bass Pro, Carhartt. The thing about List Perfectly too, if an item sells on eBay, if you I post it to List Perfectly app and the Poshmark app. And when you do that, you can go to List Perfectly, hit end, and it'll end it on Poshmark, even though that hasn't worked for the last 2 days. So then you have to physically go in and do it. But when it's working, it makes it a little bit more convenient. Too bad it doesn't self-do it, unfortunately. But, oh well. So, Stone Ridge Golf, Yankees, Rick Stell. So hopefully what these auctions will do is obviously move my now 5 storage areas full of product quick, get it out of here. Hopefully it'll turn into fast cash, and it will also make up for that $2,000 I'm losing in international sales. And hopefully Poshmark will help make up that difference too. So between them both, I'm hoping to be ahead. Hoping. So we will see. So I still got some low dollar stuff up in my store, so that stuff will still sell. I haven't ended it all. There's no point in doing that right now, since I've got so much to lot up that's not even ever been listed. And then I also too went through my store, and most of the stuff, if it was listed like $15 to $50, I just marked it all down to $13.99. And that's just to move it quick. If it's a jacket I would normally put up for $20-$25, I'm just putting it up for $13.99 now just to move it quick. My first goal is to get 100 $13.99 items sold a day. So if I can do that, it should be no problem. Plus then the auctions on top of it. So that'll be beautiful. That's the next step, the next goal I want to be at. So you always got to set little goals, because if you don't, you kind of waste your time just sitting around or lollygagging on social media instead of actually doing work. So many people, I've heard other people talk about this too, argue over pointless stuff in Facebook groups, reseller Facebook groups. I'm like, why are you people even bringing this up? It's totally pointless. Like the other one I saw the other day, somebody brought up a seller or a buyer sent the seller an email adding an apartment number to the address. Didn't change the address, just wanted to add the apartment number. They posted it and made a big stink about it. And of course, you've got this long list of people going back and forth, wasting time. I didn't get it. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. I get on social media now maybe twice a day just to take a little break, spend maybe 5 minutes paging, respond to a few things, say, hey, I'm still here. But then I jump back onto work-related items and just... So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, come on, because a friend of mine commented on it. So I had to read it real quick, and I'm just like, why? All you have to do is take a pen and write the number on the slip and be done with it. But hey, some people like their drama, I guess. So I love this hat. Look how dingy that thing is. That sold immediately after I put it up. So I love dirty, distressed, stained items when it comes to hats. Nintendo hat. I think out of all of my video game hats I bought, I had a PlayStation 2, PSP, PlayStation, Nintendo. I think just my PS1 hat is the only one remaining. Another Home Depot. I gotta keep remembering those Home Depot hats. So, alright, we're into the day before yesterday now. And then when I put up those lots, the first day I put them up, I left make offer on them. They didn't sell for $13.99. It just says that 2 of them sold for $20 a piece and 1 sold for $45. This one was a 20. This one I accepted. This one was the 45 because I put a couple of vintage hats in there to entice the buyers. So, because I know I've sold this old U.S. mail hat before for I think like $30 or something. So they got this whole lot for $45, and this one was 20. It was the same person overseas. He's got a port in Oregon that he sends all of his stuff to. I guess he ships it over in a container. So there we go. I wonder if I can recognize anything I marked down like this. I had in the store for like $20, marked it down to $13.99. It sold. See if I recognize anything else that I did that to. Because I think what I'm going to do is, like, my shoes, my used shoes are my highest average per piece item at like $35, I believe. So I'm going to build my store obviously on my hat foundation, and used shoes are going to be my secondary. And then we're just going to bust through the lots and just get them gone, get everything cleaned out. Because hopefully if I can make some quick money on that, I can be sitting nicely and then finally get my new car I've been waiting for. My little Patriots, freaking every other month I've got to dump money into it. It's paid off, but like these headphones I had up for like $22, $13.99. Boom, they sold. I thought I'd have some more right off the pop sales, dropping everything down to $13.99, but it hasn't. This I had in the store for $25. Marked it down to $13.99. So sorry. So yeah. So that's kind of my game plan going forward, is just to power through the stuff. And hopefully pad that bank account up pretty good, pretty quick. And then maybe get a new car. Finally. I've been holding off on going to get a car. So I'm going to try to hold off until spring. Patagonia hats. That one, even though you see all the stains on it, that thing sold quickly. So yeah. So that's where I am. That's what I'm doing. This one I had up for $25, I believe, too. $13.99. Boom, sold. So yeah, you can find some good deals in my store now. Figured if I can help grow the store by just giving good deals, like I said, I got here lately about a quarter into each item because I haven't been buying a lot of heavy stuff. Or my son hasn't been buying a lot of heavy stuff, so I got about a quarter per item. So if I can move it for $13.99 and then somebody can resell it for $25, if that's what they want to do, or just get a good deal on it, hopefully it'll bring a lot more attention to my store. Here's this large VERO Bradley bag. Had it in my store, $20-something. Marked it down $13.99. Boom, gone. So that's the plan, to move 100 $13.99 items a day, give good deals, and give great deals on lotted merchandise. So that's where I'm headed. That's where I'm going. This was another item. I had it in the store for $45, I believe. This cool old stationery vintage piece. This, I think, was the first thing that sold when I marked everything down. It's a very cool piece. But, I only got 25 cents into it, so why not? So let's spread the love. Spread the love. All right, so that's where I'm at. So hopefully these sales will pick up today. I know eBay's been having a lot of issues. Good Lord. Like yesterday, my store, this thing still don't work. yesterday all my store categories were gone. This was totally empty over here. And I know they just made updates to it all. So, of course, every time they make updates. And then the listing still's not working properly. When I do a draft, every time I try to list my drafts, it erases half of my frickin' item specifics. So, same old issues year after year. When they change and try to update their item specifics, they screw it all up, and it just totally messes up the whole site. But that's the eBay way. Change one thing, it breaks 10 others. So, what are you going to do? Kind of just get used to it now. Alrighty, so that's it for today's video. And hopefully I can get back into making these videos now that my headspace is back in a happier mode after dealing with that VERO crap. When I get into those headspaces, I don't want to talk. My brain just overthinks everything, and I create a way out, because I've said it many times before, is I will never play the victim. If something happens to me, it's because I did something, not because somebody else did something. It's because I did something. And I look at everything like that for a couple of reasons: to keep myself empowered and know that I can change things. I can change my path. I can change the future. One of my favorite sayings, and I don't remember if I have the number correctly, there's 86,400 seconds in every day. So you have that many choices to make per day. What have you done? So, and I built that from where I came from. I came from nothing, and I knew every decision I made was going to outcome tomorrow, next week, 5 years, 10 years. I knew if I ran with this crowd, I was going to wind up dead or in jail. If I did, went this way, this was going to happen. If I walked down this street at this time of day, I knew I could get jumped because of the color of my skin. So growing up with nothing and in like a, low income environment, if you don't learn to pay attention to everything around you, not just what you see, what you hear, what you feel, and break it down to time periods and everything, you could literally screw up your life. So when something happens to me, my mind is breaking it down, thinking, where did I go wrong? What did I do? What can I do differently? How do I change things? How do I make sure this doesn't happen again? And how do I benefit from it? How do I learn from it? And that's just the way I've always been, and that's the way I always will be. So hopefully my headspace is back into proper James mode, and I will start dancing again. White boy dance. All right. Thanks everybody for watching and putting up with me, and I will see you in the next video. Later.